guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Gurishq Kaur. Welcome to my channel. So as you read by the title already, today's video is the ultimate makeup brushes guide, and this video has been requested and houses. Ever since I started my Instagram, people have been requesting me how to pick their makeup brushes, video on brushes, makeup brush knowledge, makeup rules and all. So I was like, let's film it for once and for all so that you can refer to this guide whenever you're on a look for a new makeup brush. So to begin with, I'm going to start mentioning the brushes in the order we do our makeup. So primer, basically. I know we don't use a brush for primer as an individual, but if you're a makeup artist and if you're doing clientele, so you might want to use, a flat foundation brush to apply the primer on your client. Thereby, I've also included these two flat foundation brushes in this collection. First one is by Focallure Beauty. This actually comes along with a brush set by Focallure Beauty, and in general, like for beginners who don't want to make that big investment and just want to play around with makeup, the Focallure Beauty brush set is a great pick. It's really affordable. It's good quality brushes that are gonna last you for a good long time. However, if you don't want to go for a brush set and just want the individual flat foundation brush, I also have the Glasm Cosmetics A008 brush. And this is a beautiful flat foundation brush. This can be used for applying primers on clientele or doing satisfying foundation swatches like I do on my Instagram sometimes, or also applying foundation beforehand with a flat foundation brush and then going in with buffing motions with another brush or blender. So yeah, this is not a necessary brush, but if you want one, I got you two options, sis. And the world we live in, there are just two kinds of people on planet Earth: the ones who blend their foundation with their beauty sponges and the others who use a foundation brush. Personally, I'm not huge fan of foundation brushes. I use it every now and then, sometimes, like to just change my content that way, to be very honest. But personally, in real life, I'm so much more of a beauty blender person. Regardlessly, for my foundation brush girls, I've got three options right here. So the first one is the Arte AK42 brush. It's a round kabuki brush, really densely packed, and gives a beautiful finish to the foundation. It gives sort of a dewy finish to the foundation and does not lose on coverage. So yeah, it's a pretty good foundation brush. But having said that, nothing beats my Pac foundation brushes. The first brand I tried foundation brushes from and really happened to like them. So the first one I have here is the Pac 265 foundation brush. It's a flat top kabuki brush. Again, very dense and nice. Bristles are pretty soft and thereby it does not leave any streaky marks on your face. And one of my latest favorite kabuki brushes from Pac is the 247 foundation brush. So it's basically slanted ever so slightly, but that really gives like a good grip to buff in your foundation, if you get me. Also, because of this slanted grip, it is also amazing for cream contours. So yeah, it's a multi-purpose brush that way. And for my multi-purposeful base makeup tool, I have here the Cal makeup blender. I love a beauty blender also for the sole purpose that I can do my foundation, my concealer, my cream contour, my cream blush, everything with this little beauty right here. Even a cream highlighter, wait. Like, it is already pretty affordable to begin with, but you can also multi-purpose it instead of a lot of brushes for cream products. So I really like this one. It has the perfect squishiness and density, does not soak up a lot of product, gives a very beautiful flawless finish to the skin. I just want to squishy it. So if you love brushes for your cream products and base products in general, I have a beautiful concealer brush for you. That is the Pac 272 concealer brush. It's an angled, densely packed brush and the bristles feel nice and soft. It just gets into all those nooks and corners and blends out the concealer beautifully. It does not leave any streaky marks and does a very good job, like very similar to a makeup blender. However, you could have just used a makeup blender. Jokes apart, but it's a very beautiful concealer brush, something that even I reach out to very often, being a beauty blender person. It's a really pretty concealer brush. I agree that all these brushes are not supremely inexpensive or very cheap, but they're also not cheap in terms of quality. They're extremely good high quality brushes, and they're gonna last you a lifetime. It's literally a one-time investment that you put into your brushes, and they're definitely gonna make hell a lot of difference to how your makeup actually turns out. So it's your call completely. Next, ahead for cream contour, I have the Wet n Wild contour brush. This brush is actually pretty versatile. It works very well with cream as well as powder contour. Regardless of the fact that this is a slightly inexpensive brush, the quality is really good. The bristles are nice and soft, and I like how it's angled towards the top, so it fits right into the hollows of your cheekbone, and it's very easy to like push the product into your hairline. It just fits perfectly in there. So yeah, if you could not tell by now, I really like this brush and it's a good pick. However, if you're not in a mood to invest in a separate contour brush, it's not necessary, honestly. For your cream contour, you can use the same foundation brush, and if going for foundation brush, you can prefer something that is slightly slanted for a better cream contour blend. So yeah, the Pac 247 foundation brush shall come really handy even with cream contour product. And next for powder brushes, we have like 3 sizes in there, like a small, medium and a huge ass powder brush that honestly you don't really require, and you'll just end up looking like a cakey mess if you just use that huge ass powder brush all over your face. Not really recommended. But the kind of powder brush that I like for my dry ass skin is the precision powder brush. Something like these small powder brushes to just really set my under eyes and areas that I've concealed, so that the base does not move but still my makeup does not look cakey or overly matte or dry. My favorite powder brush has to be the Arte AF06. It's a lovely precision powder brush, slightly dome shaped, so you can actually use it for highlighter as well, for just spot highlighting or just all over. Glaze up that donut according to your taste. And yeah, it just fits accurately underneath your eyes, just set around the under eyes, around your mouth, anywhere and everywhere you want. But it is actually still way better than those big ass fluffy powder brushes in my opinion. Another option that I have for you for precision powder brushes is gonna be the Cara F004 brush. This again is one of my favorite powder come highlighting brushes. I like such precision powder brushes for my highlight. I do not like a fan brush for my highlight for some apparent reason, so a brush like this comes really handy. So it's a synthetic brush set, but the quality is really good, and you can actually make it work pretty damn well if you're on a budget. Next up for powder blush, I really like this Focallure beauty brush. I mean, this does not have a name or number. Again, it comes with the set, but it's just the perfect dome shaped brush to hit the apples of your cheeks and just take it all the way above to your temple. Just the perfect size to fit my cheeks. Having said that, you can also use like a medium sized powder brush for your blush, something like these. This is again by Focallure Beauty, however this one is by Arte. It's the PF06 brush, and you can easily use this for your blush. It's just that you have to be a little cautious of, you know, not going overboard and taking it all the way up or all the way down there. So yeah, that is that. But you can definitely multi-purpose your brushes. You can use the same brush to just do a light layer of bronzer or across your face. But trust me, you don't need 1,000 brushes to be, you know, a good makeup artist or just do your makeup well. You can multi-purpose your brushes all the time. So you can use this brush to basically do your powder, blush or bronzer, anything and everything. It's upon the skill more than the brushes, to be very honest. I know I just recommended a big fluffy brush for your bronzer or your bronzer, but if you want like a more sharper contour going on for powder contours, this Pac brush is very ideal. I forgot the number. It's the Pac 368 brush. It is like slightly angled at the top. The bristles are not very dense, not very loosely packed as well. It's somewhere in the middle to fit the hollows of your cheekbones and give it that cool toned shadow, just precise shadow and not all over that it looks muddy. So this is the kind of brush you want to go for when you're going for a powder contour. So again, as I've already stated, I like to use something like this, like a precision powder brush for my highlight to be poppin'. So now we are done with the base makeup tools and brushes and everything of that sort. So let's move ahead to the eyes. And before eyes, we also got to groom them brows, and for that I personally love this brush. So if you use a brow pencil, you don't really require a brush to do your brows, maybe an extra spoolie if it's not there with the brow pencil. But if you use more of like brow pomades and brow powders, then you would require an angular brush. And my favorite has to be the Pac 099 angular brush. This is the angular side of the brush. It's really nice and skinny. It's not thick. It's very nice and thin that you can also do an eyeliner with this. And it also comes with a spoolie on one end. It is so convenient to do my brows with this. I mean, I love it. Like, I can just fill in my brows just like that, turn it around, brush them up. I know that is nothing too impressive or scientific in there, but I really love this for the fact that it also has a spoolie on one end and just the angular side on one end, so it makes me doing my brows so much more fun and easier and quicker. So I really like this one. Okay, so again, it's not a necessary step in some people's makeup routines, but for me it surely is a necessary step, so I'm still gonna mention it. That is carving out your brows, and I use the same brush to carve out my brows and cut my crease, so it's one and the same thing basically. It's a flat cut crease brush by Glasm Cosmetics. This is a nice flat cut crease brush in the number A027. I also use it to carve out my brows because it's nice and flat, so it's easy to do it that way. So coming down to the eyes, the next brush that I have is the Glasm Cosmetics A017 brush. So basically it's a huge puffy blending brush, and this is like ideal for doing just a subtle wash of color all across the lid, like just a very soft pink or soft brown, like just a bronzer or blush in your crease. And this is a great brush for that. So yeah, it's a great brush for those lazy days when you just want to do like a light wash of color all across the lids, just slightly messily, nothing very precise. So this is gonna be your, you know, go-to brush. So sticking to the eyes, next up I have two types of color packing brushes. The brushes you use to pack the colors first, so that there's more intensity of the color and the color comes out more vibrant and intense kind of. So the first kind of brush that you can use to pack in some color on the lids is this. This is actually a brush by Arte. It's so old that the name has completely rubbed off, and I'll try to find this brush and, you know, just leave the link and name on the screen right here. So basically it's a flat, okay, I'm gonna try to show you how the brush exactly looks like. It's flat, but it has got some sort of volume to it, and so it basically really helps with packing the color, like just pressing and packing the color on your lid first. So this really helps with packing the color on your lid so that you don't lose the intensity of the color when you go in with your blending brush. And this is a really nice brush to pack color on your lid especially, and to pack color on your outer corners or crease area. I like something like this that is sort of a pencil brush. This is by Glasm Cosmetics. It's the A026 brush. So this really helps with packing the color in the outer corner, in the crease, to create that nice depth and intensity of the color. And next up I have two of my favorite blending brushes of all times. I mean, if you're a makeup freak, you have those favorite brushes. Come on, it cannot be that you love makeup, you do it every now and then, and you don't have your favorite makeup brushes. I mean, I can't trust you, I'm sorry. So my favorite precision blending brush has to be the Boujee Beauty B215 brush. It's a tiny blending brush. Can you see that any better now? The bristles are like so nice and soft. It gives you the most beautiful fade. I don't know how to explain that. The kind of fade this brush gives, it's something with the brush, I believe. It gives a beautiful blend of lovely fade. So basically I would go in with this brush to soften the harsh edges of the color that I packed prior, so that the edges are slightly faded and softer. And after that I go in with another blending brush to blow them edges even more and have a very nice soft transition going on. And my OG favorite blending brush has to be the Arte PE23 blending brush. This is slightly tapered towards the top. It's slightly pointy slash angled, so it gives you that very nice gradual fade, that last fade that you need to just complete that blown out shadow. This is the brush you need. So I tried to keep the list of brushes as small as possible, so I'm trying to actually list the multi-purpose brushes. And next up I have the Pac AK374 shader brush. So this is majorly a flat shader brush but slightly fluffy at the same time, so you can use it to actually add depth to the outer corners and just add another deeper shade in there and blend it slightly with the same brush, and or use it for the lid shade that you're going to put all across the lid, or just lay down shimmers where your hands and fingers cannot reach. So this is a great multi-purpose shader brush. So if you're into liquid liners or pen liners, you don't really require the next brush, but it can also double up as a lip lining brush, so you may want to see it as well. It's the Pro Arte PE59 brush. It's the best eyeliner brush slash lip liner brush that I've ever come across. I have at least 6-7 eyeliner brushes, but nothing compares to this one. I don't know, the grip is just so fine that it just glides so smooth. No eyeliner brush comes close to this one in my opinion. I always multi-purpose this brush to do my eyeliner, even tight line my eyes at times, do my kajal, line my lips. It's an extremely multi-purpose brush, and even some people like to carve out their cut crease with like an eyeliner brush, so this is going to be a great pick. And lastly, I have a bonus brush that is again not a necessary brush, but some people like to use it and include it in their routine, so just thought of mentioning it. That is the Pro Arte PP16 stippling brush. So basically that's like a duo fiber stippling brush. If you can see the black fibers and the white fibers, so it's a duo fiber stippling brush. So this brush again can be used in multiple ways. Firstly, you can use it on clients to just blend in the moisturizer or the primer into this. Secondly, you can use this brush for a nice light coverage BB cream or CC cream, because this brush does give a very light coverage and a very blended, very skin-like finish to your skin. So yeah, you can use it for those light coverage makeup days. Lastly, you can stipple it ever so slightly on your face to just get rid of any harsh line if your contour or your blush or your highlighter seems a little too harsh or stark. You can just go over the edges with an extremely light hand, just very softly, like barely touching your face, go over, and the harsh edge will soon look all nice and blended and won. Personally, I really like to use this stippling brush to apply my cream blushes on like bare skin days. It looks really pretty and skin-like. However, a stippling brush is surely not a necessity, but if you want to include one, the PP16 by Pro Arte is a good pick. So lastly, to smoke out the lower lash line, I have two brushes right here. First one is the Cara E008 pencil brush. It's a nice dome-shaped pencil brush, if you can see. So it's nice to just get in there and smoke that lower lash line out. It's a really pretty pencil brush, and it comes along with this set if you want to purchase that. And if you like to wear smudged kajal on your upper or lower lash line, you can use this Glasm Cosmetics A024 brush to just smudge out that kohl. It's really nice and soft on the eyes. I've seen a lot of smudging brushes, whatever you want to call them, they are pretty harsh on the eyes somehow. The bristles on this one are pretty soft, and you know, you're not really gonna end up tugging them so much. Like if you do it, that's your thing, but the brush will not tug and poke your eyes that much, is what I meant to say. And with that, we literally come to an end to today's makeup brush guide video. Yes, I did not mention certain brushes that I personally felt are not very important and can be multi-used, as the ones I mentioned, like an inner corner highlight or a brow bone highlight brush could be a nice pencil brush after cleaning it, of coursely. So all these little teeny tiny steps you can take to multi-purpose your brushes, and you can use the same blush contour powder brush again. You can pinch it slightly if you want a little more precision in there, and yeah, just save some bucks, dude. I mean, but hey, I'm nobody to tell you where to spend and where to save. So if you want to splurge, your call. If you want to save, your call. I hope this video was helpful. And with that, I finally completed a highly requested topic. I feel slightly relieved, and it's pretty late at night and I'm super sleepy. So let me go off to bed and you go shopping or saving, your call. I hope it helps. See you in my next one.